What is up, YouTube? Illusions here, and today what you are watching is my first ever class setup video for Call of Duty Ghosts competitive play, for MLG play. This is following the MLG Columbus rule set as of right now, and this is what I've been using as of right now. This is subject to change. Obviously, as you may know, this is going to change down the road. I'm still toying with a lot of things. I just got back from my first tournament. eBash, which is why I actually haven't uploaded videos. We've been scrimming, preparing for that. I should be back on a YouTube schedule video because, as you guys know, Entity was unable to get a team pass, and based on the whole everyone raising the prices for team passes, we're just not going to purchase one because it's just not worth it right now. In our opinions, it wasn't worth the stress and the hassle of doing it, even though we really would like to go. We're just gonna miss out on Columbus. But for the other events, UMGs and the other MLG events, we will be attending. Unfortunately, we just cannot attend Columbus. But anyways, as I was saying, let me open up these classes and let me show you my first class. And what you were looking at is my favorite gun in the game right now, the Remington R5. This is the best assault rifle. I don't think, hands down, is the best assault rifle. I don't really think any other argument can be made for a better assault rifle, except for the fact that Remington is not the greatest up close. So let's break this class down. This is my quintessential Blitz class. This is what I use mainly in Blitz. As you guys may know, Blitz is not the fastest paced of game types. Usually you have a teammate sit back and defend your portal and maintain map control, and that is what I do for my team. So obviously that's why I'm running the AR. So let's break this class down. Obviously red dot, because this gun is an ACR, and this really does help. And iron sights on this thing are pretty bad. Muzzle brake, and the reason I am using muzzle brake over foregrip. I do like the attachment foregrip because it makes the gun absolutely recoilless. There's no recoil. But the reason I'm using muzzle brake is because Stalker has been banned, so I'm not strafing around as much and all of that stuff. And it may not make a whole lot of sense, but I don't need that precise accuracy all the time. So I do prefer to have more range and more damage. That's why I am using muzzle brake. The stun. The reason I use a stun in Blitz is because I don't want them to get to my portal. Nades aren't very effective. I'm not nading them off flags. I obviously can't nade them off of my portal. So I use a stun to immobilize them, prevent them from getting to my portal if they're in our base or anything like that. Or I'll stun check things. Stuff like that. Stuns are what I think you need to be using in Blitz, just so you can prevent them from getting to your portal. You can stop them in the tracks. They can't get away. Things like that. Now my perks. As you guys may know, there's a lot of perks. There's a lot of perks in this game. But obviously, MLG rule set, a lot of these perks have been taken away. I'm doing some hand motions on my monitor right now. I don't know why. So my first perk is Ready Up. This readies your weapon after sprinting. I think it's a very valuable perk on subs. I think subs do need it. And I am using it on my Remington because we no longer allowed to use Stalker. So that freed up 3 perk slots, 3 perk points. And I don't need a secondary and I don't need a lethal for Blitz. So I put on Ready Up. My second class is Marathon. The reason I put on Marathon is because the Marathon and Ready Up are the two things that I switched out for Stalker. That's how I made up for not having Stalker. I like to be able to sprint around the map, get to places faster, get to flags faster, and potentially be able to score for my team and Blitz and things like that. So that's why I'm using Marathon. My next perk is Quick Draw. This is an absolute necessity for assault rifles. You get faster aiming. It is like sleight of hand in past Call of Duties. I don't exactly remember what it was like. And it was like the Quick Draw attachment in Black Ops 2. I don't know what I just spaced that. Dead silence, because you do need to be silent in this game because footsteps are really loud and you can be sound hoard. And focus. Focus is probably the absolute most needed perk on every respawn class that you use. It reduces weapon sway when aiming down sights and reduce flinch when hit. So when you're in a gunfight, your gun won't flinch as much. You won't flinch. Now, streaks are allowed in the form of specialists, but it is following the perk, again, the list of perks that are banned. It is following the rules as far as perks go. So I'm not a huge fan of the specialist perks, but what I do think, these first 3 perks I think are really useful. The ones highlighted in yellow I think are really useful as specialist perks. The other ones that you put bonus at 11 kills, and the other ones that you get after your first initial 3, or however it works, after your initial perks, they're not as useful because you're not going to get to them as much, so they don't really matter as much. but these first 3 are the ones, or the first 4, or whatever, however many it amounts to, are the ones that you want to focus on. So I use ICU so I can regenerate my health faster after I get shot. I can run around a corner and I'll regenerate my health faster, and I'll be able to challenge a gunfight or move on, get map control again. I use tac resist so I don't get stunned and EMP'd and all of those things. I don't know why I said EMP. So I don't get stunned or flashed in Blitz and in other game types. And I use blast shield so I obviously don't get naded. The others, you can see I use resilience, on the go, sleight of hand, agility, and steady aim. But those aren't as important as those initial specialist perks. So that took a while to break down my first class. Good thing is, the rest of my classes are pretty much the same. This is my domination class. This is the exact same class. Actually, this should be changed. If you go into my specialist, okay, first off, before I change that, you'll see that I'm using a nade instead of a stun. And that is so I can nade, obviously, the enemy team off of flags, off of the B flag, off of the A flag, home flags, all that stuff. So I can nade the enemy team off of flags. That's why I use the nade instead of a stun. If we're playing hard defense in domination, if we have an A and a B flag, or a C and a B flag, if we have 2 flag control, sometimes I will break out a stun just so we can prevent them from getting to flags, so we can slow them down and slow down their momentum and their speed and all that. But oftentimes it's just a nade. That's all I'm using. My perks, the same as they were on the previous class: ready up, marathon, quick draw, dead silence, and focus. My specialist strike package should be changed. Actually, I don't know why I didn't change this. We're gonna change out tac resist and blast shield. Blast shield is gonna be before tac resist on this class. Because this is domination, so I will be getting on flags and things like that. But again, your specialist perks aren't a huge factor in the game, because you're not going to get them very often. But my next class is a search and destroy class. This is a search and destroy class only. It is an overkill class. It buys on with foregrip and muzzle brake, because this gun does have recoil, and this gun does have doesn't really have much range. So I put on the muzzle brake to get more range. Again, this is a search and destroy class. This is very similar to people using a sniper and an MSMC from Black Ops 2. This class is mainly so I can get an opening pick and search and destroy, and not be limited to my sniper, to my pistol. So I'm using the what is this? L115, L115, because this does seem to be a better sniper for me. This doesn't give as many hit markers, and I'm using armor piercing, but lately, I've been switching it in between thermal and armor piercing. I like armor piercing so you don't get as many hit markers because it increases the damage. But thermal is also really good so they can't smoke out areas and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking of making this the primary and putting armor piercing. Actually, let's do that now. So we're making a little switch here. Let's put on the L15 with thermal and iron piercing, and then let's put on a secondary Bison with no attachments, obviously. But so yeah, there's my new search class. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. But my specialist perks are kind of different. I'm not using focus. You'll notice I'm not using focus on this class. I'm using marathon, quick draw, dead silence, and overkill. And those 4 perks do add up to a lot of perk points. Those add up to 10 perk points. That's why I can only use 4. But marathon, so I can get to places faster, so I can get this opening pick. Quick draw, because I am using a sub, and because I am using a sniper, so I do want to be able to pull my gun up fast. Dead silence, because it is an absolute necessity in this game, especially in search and destroy. And overkill, so I can carry a secondary. And the specialist perks, again, you're not going to get these very often, so I don't pay a huge amount of attention to them. But ready up, so I can my weapon is faster after sprinting. ICU, and then focus. I don't know why I focus my second one, and then ICU. And then the other 4 really don't matter too much. My next class is a Bison. This is where things are going to start getting different, because this is where you're going to run into my sub and my speed classes. At the beginning of this game, a bunch of people said this game was going to be very AR-oriented, and they said with Stalker it was, but it's really not. Once they took away Stalker, they took away all mobility off of assault rifles, and they made the game very sub-oriented. Submachine guns annihilate up close. Guns like the MTAR have a lot of range and can outgun a lot of assault rifles at range. So I do have to run a sub on a lot of maps. Not in Blitz, I run strictly AR and Blitz, but in Domination on maps like Sovereign and Strike Zone, I do run sub. And these are the subs that I prefer to use. So first off, if it buys on with muzzle brake and foregrip, which I already broke that down earlier, the gun doesn't have much range and it does recoil. So this adds range and eliminates the recoil. I have a nade because I do use this class primarily in domination. My perks, I have a lot of things going on here. I have actually, no, I don't. I have the exact same perk setup as I do on my Remington. Ready Up, Marathon, Quick Draw, Dead Silence, and Focus, with my Specialist Strike package being Attack Resist, Blast Shield, Agility, and then the other 5, which really don't matter a whole lot. My next class is an MTAR. This is the exact same kind of class. I've been using the MTAR. Originally, I was using it with Red Dot, but I am using it now with without Red Dot. I don't know why I have a Simtex on this class. So let's change that back to a frag. Same perks, same deal going on there, and the same. Not for the most part, it's kind of the same. Actually, no, it's not. Whatever. For the most part, it's kind of the same specialist package. I don't focus a whole lot on the specialist package because it doesn't build, it doesn't stack, and it's not incredibly useful. So I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. My next class is an SC2010, and this can be exchanged with the AK. This is kind of my my mobile assault rifle. This is what I prefer to use if I do want to run assault rifle, but I still want to have some power up close on maps like Sovereign. Like if we're having some trouble holding top control on Sovereign and Domination, I will pull this class out, and I'll be able to break it somewhat easily, or not somewhat easily, but a little bit better than I could with a Remington, because this gun, the SC2010, is much better up close, and I could hold it pretty well because it is an assault rifle, so I do have some range with me. Obviously a nade because I'm using this in Domination, and perk setup is the same as it was before, as well as the specialist setup. So there you go. Those are my classes, and those are the reasons how to use them. This first class, the Remington with the stun, is a blitz class. This is a domination class. My L115 is a search class, and then my subs and my other assault rifle, my 2010, are primarily domination classes. But so that is my class. Those are my classes, and because this video is already pretty long, let's throw in one more thing. Let's throw in my options. So this is what I'm playing on. Obviously, you can't have contextual lean on. That is banned in MLG, so I obviously have to have that off. I have the colorblind filter on because it makes your red dot brighter. It actually turns red colors pink on your gun. Like your camo will kind of be pinkish, and your red dot will be pink. It's bright. It stands out a little bit better. A brightness I don't have turned up all the way because it takes away from the quality of the game in this game. Like in Black Ops 2, I did have it turned up all the way because it was useful. In this game, it's not very useful. I have my game volume down while I'm at home because I don't like to go deaf, so that's my reasoning there. A safe area, I've explained this before in previous videos. I have it as small as you can go, so I can still see my mini-map and all that stuff out of my peripheral vision. And my sensitivity is on 3. If my aim gets crazy, I could lower it to 2, but 3 is probably as low as I really want to go, and probably as low as you really want to go. I have vibration off because it's my preference, look inversion off because I'm not a psycho. My button layout is tactical. And my stick layout is default. So, that is all I have for you guys today. I don't know why I just clicked on main menu. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful, and you did learn something from the video as to what I use and as to what you could be using. And I hope maybe you do use some of the things I do. Maybe I'm just lost. I mean, I don't know. But give me feedback on the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Please subscribe, like, comment below, all of that nonsense. Follow me on Twitter at Entity Illusions, and I will see you guys later. Have a nice day.